Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mouthpiece Mania, and it's time for the Rumble review. It is 2 days removed from the Royal Rumble. We took the day off yesterday, as neither of us really slept after the Rumble, and it wouldn't have been. Let's just say, even the start of the podcast wouldn't have had that energy.
No, nothing had that energy.
All right, these won by would have been what you got from us. I did manage to get out what just happened at the as soon as it ended and get that out of there. Sort of like an immediate thought thing, which I thought didn't take long to do. It's not hard to get it launched onto YouTube and Spotify and stuff, so just get out of the way. Pardon me, but no, we're now live for the review, and this Royal Rumble. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm one of your hosts, Connor, joined by Dirty Dantos Danny. I just get straight into it because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
starting off pay-per-view was the men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, how shocked we were by that. It was certainly.
Yeah, it's just I wasn't necessarily expecting it to be the main event, because it's very much a case of if Roman's on the card, no matter the pay-per-view, he's the main event.
Yeah,
but yeah, to have
that was it. It started up, didn't it? And I was like, oh, we're starting off with women, and then all of a sudden they're men's.
Yeah,
like,
what? Number one. And the man who would turn out to be the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Loved everything about him in this Rumble. The Ring General, Bunta. And then at number two, very fitting for what we've had through the year. Well, the calendar year, because considering we're in January. But through the calendar year, Mania to Mania, Sheamus, who also lasted 52 minutes, to be honest. So that's... You can't knock that. These two straight away just chopping each other's tits until they're red raw.
What a performance by Gunther. It was just absolutely phenomenal.
Well, I just removed things from my puppy that he's trying to eat. Play with your tongue. There we go. Yeah. Then we had The Miz coming at number 3, who only lasted 4 minutes and 23 seconds. But again, it was surprising for Miz he was the first eliminated.
Yeah, and I was very surprised by that.
He was eliminated by, number 6 time he was eliminated by.
Yeah.
But at the same, don't you fucking, you haven't played with a squeaky ball for 2 days. Do not pick it up now. I'm on a podcast. Fucking talk. Yeah. It was a surprise to see them as being the first eliminated, but considering the caliber we had in the first 10 entrants,
it was.
The Miz is probably one of the few guys in the first 10 who wouldn't have been damaged by being the first eliminated. Now, the Miz can lose it every match ever, and it doesn't take his stock down 1 minute. I'm gonna take this off the dog.
No worries.
Fucking hell. We didn't get Kofi Kingston, who unfortunately had for the second year in a row a Royal Rumble elimination save fail, which is sad.
I think he possibly got injured as well.
Right. Professional as ever.
And as if from rumours that I've seen, that possibly he got an injury from landing on that chair as well. On his ankle.
He landed on the chair, and as it tippled, his head hit the corner of the announce table.
Shit.
It could just be like an opening.
Concussion or something.
Yeah, but hopefully nothing serious. Number 4 was Kofi Kingston, as we say. Then we got Johnny Gargano. Xavier Woods came in at number 6. We got to see a little tease of Kofi and Xavier get ready to go at it before they ran at each other. Ran at each other and just started slapping some booty.
Yeah, playing the bongos on the earth.
Yeah, we then got Chad Gable at number 8, Drew McIntyre at number 9, who Drew and Sheamus actually had an alliance from Drew getting in the ring until they were both eliminated. There was no turning on each other in the Rumble of the sort of towards the end when they look at, you get the alliances, and then towards the end they'll look at each other and it's like, oh, well, only one of us has got a Mania, let's do it, boy. Or there's like the Drew's throwing someone out and then Sheamus will come behind and throw him out. There were none of that. From Drew getting in the ring until them both being eliminated, they were at each other's sides, saving each other. So it was cool to see, because we didn't get one of the Rumble cliches.
Turning, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get one of them. Like one of the tag team people just they have to do it.
Yeah.
Then number 10 we got Santos
My man.
Escobar. Your man. In the top 10, there was only 1, 2, 3 people who lasted less than 5 minutes. Number 3, Miz, lasted 4:23. Number 7, Karrion Kross, lasted 4 minutes and 11 seconds.
That was a bit of a shock.
It was, but at the same time, with all the big people in the ring to start, some people have to be
not
eliminated.
Damaging. Yeah, it's not.
That's
damaging.
what it is. When you've got your roster is as stacked as it is, people have to get eliminated. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Roman, down. You were literally asleep until I pressed record. Yeah, Santos
was one of the many victims of Brock.
Yeah, I haven't heard any news on Santos, but I rewatched his elimination.
It looked bad, didn't it?
The thing is, I rewatched the elimination, and from what I can tell, if he's hurt his back, it's his own fault.
Oh, right. Okay.
As Brock, because Brock does the swinging,
throws him out,
throws him that way. Like did to Ricochet in the 20. Whichever Rumble Drew one. But as Santos is going over, he grabs the rope.
Ah, right.
So his body then has to straighten out, and it looks like a very rough hit.
So he's tried to save himself, but failed.
Yeah, I don't know if he's hurt. Hopefully not. I haven't seen anything.
No.
We're going at number 11. Angela Dawkins came in, was hot, had a little hot streak, doing some moves, then very quickly got eliminated. Well, not quickly, because he survived until after the next person who came on, who was, as we mentioned, Brock Lesnar, who eliminated
about 4 people, didn't he?
3 people. But Brock Lesnar was in the Rumble for 2 minutes and 28 seconds, which is the exact same time Dawkins was in the Rumble.
To be fair, though, we popped when he went out. So,
and you know what? And I loved it because in those 2 minutes 28 seconds, Brock came in and suplexed Drew and Sheamus and all that, as you expect Brock to do.
Yeah,
everyone was down, and then we got what we wanted.
We got what we said was coming. Yeah.
Brock and Gunter. Yeah, and Gunter just chopped the shit out of him and kneed him, and it was beautiful. They didn't make Gunter look bad, but then
we spoke about the next entrance music, and it hit
Bobby. Which I think we might have said on the prediction as well, to be honest. That it will either be Bobby, Brock, or Brock, Bobby in that order. Bobby came out and took out everyone with some spears, and then went for Brock. It got Brock out very quickly. Brock then went on his anger spree, picked up the stairs, threw him on the announce table, was borderline tantruming, and then we heard the music of the wrestling god, Baron Corbin, who made his entrance, and just as he's getting to that little ringside bit, Brock Lesnar just
call his bird Ronnie.
Brock Lesnar just runs around and just tramples the shit out of him, hits an F5, and then all the officials and the referees who are telling Brock off at this entire time but are staying 12 feet away from him, run down. Brock starts running. He then puts his hands on a referee. So that means we're going to get. This is how they're keeping Brock away until the run up to Mania or Chamber, depending how they do it, depending what they want for Brock at Mania. Because I'm assuming if they, as much as I'd love Gunter Brock at Mania, I think it would probably mean Gunter would have to drop his Intercontinental title
at Chamber.
Yeah. So otherwise, I don't see it happening because it's hard to imagine. Brock's they could obviously write it and make it happen, but it's hard to imagine them making Brock's character go for the Intercontinental. He's had this whole thing with Bobby, who's been going for the US, but Brock didn't even want the US when Bobby was champ. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has no interest in the mid-tier belts, so it would be weird.
He's never going to be classed as mid-card, Brock, is he? So he's
no, but it was to be honest, he could go for the IC against Gunter and then lose at Mania.
It's another title to his name, isn't it? Yeah.
But no, lose at Mania and then that's it. He doesn't need to go for it. He doesn't need to be the champion. But I think we're probably going to get. I think the plan is Brock Bobby at Mania because it's Brock Bobby 3.
It would make more sense, yeah. Plus, every fucker wants it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then I was going to say that means they could give us Gunter Brock at Chamber, but then you can't have Brock lose to Gunter in the build up to Mania,
Or
and then Gunther
SummerSlam
loses.
later, further on down the line.
Yeah,
maybe?
down the line, maybe that would be cool. But yeah, he does that, so we won't see him for a while. And then entry 15 is Seth freaking Rollins, who comes out.
He had a great Rumble.
He does. He throws Baron in the ring to then eliminate Baron Corbin. So Baron Corbin's official in-ring time is 7 minutes. We then got Otis, who came in, did his thing, had the hot streak that everyone gets, did the caterpillar, lasted 3 minutes, got thrown out. Rey Mysterio's
got too hot. He was going to follow.
Yes, I know, Sam. I wanted the worm and caterpillar battle. Number 17, Rey Mysterio's music hits, but we see no Rey Mysterio, and we do not see Rey Mysterio at all through the night, which does make this officially a 29-man Rumble. But number 18, music hits, and it's Dominic Mysterio who comes out wearing Rey's mask, clearly alluding to he's just beating Rey down, which I'm assuming there's a reason for this. I'm assuming Rey had something wrong that couldn't happen, because to me it would have made more sense to have Dominic eliminate Rey.
Yeah.
And then you've got that, because they've been away from each other
since the move of SmackDown,
because Rey refused to fight Dom. But you could have it where Dom just goes for Rey and then beats the crap out of Rey so badly that Rey's like, all right, this has to happen. But Rey's injured, because you could have the Judgment Day attack Rey, after the match or whatever. And like, this could still lead to Mania. It could be a case of the Judgment Day's attack on Rey Mysterio at the Royal Rumble to make him not come out is what keeps him away long enough for the Mania build, injury. And then we get it. But I feel like you should have had it. They should, if that's what they're going to do, they should have done it on camera.
Yeah, like they do every Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roman, come. Bullshit.
I wonder if he's carrying an injury or something.
Maybe. We then got Elias, who lasted a whopping 39 seconds. Finn Balor. And then the only real surprise, in my opinion, which was Booker T.
Yeah.
He lasted 42 seconds, but we got to see everything you want to see. The
Spinneroonie.
Yeah, you saw the spinning heel kick, the move where he drags the arm and super kicks him, the bookend and the Spinneroonie, the classics. Still looks great, can still go. We then got Damian Priest, so he came in to assist Dom. Montez Ford came in, lasted 44 seconds and acted very confused when he got eliminated, like he didn't expect that to happen. So at this point, all the Judgment Day's in. I'm pretty sure they eliminate a few people in this gap. And then we get the return of Edge.
Yeah.
Who lasted 1 minute, 4 seconds. But obviously this return was purely just for
Finn Balor.
Just for the feud.
Yeah.
Edge eliminates Finn and eliminates Damian.
Yeah.
Goes to eliminate Dominic, but then Finn and Damian come and help eliminate Edge. Edge, Finn, and Damian fight back to the entrance ramp. Just at the entrance, Edge gets the better of them, and then Rhea just comes and attacks Edge out of nowhere. But then who appears behind behind Rhea Ripley? Sorry, but Beth Phoenix hits a spear on Rhea, and then again the officials come out doing what they do, where they just talk and don't actually stop anything from happening, and everyone goes backstage. Number 25 was Austin Theory, who at this point he made his entrance during them all fighting at the entrance part and just stood there looking at them, just like, oh, okay, this is happening.
You've got this.
Yeah. He was nice enough to stand at the side until they sort of cleared a gap for him. Then he just walked past. Number 26 was Omos. This is the cliche that I think I predicted this.
Yeah, we said that next one's got to be Braun, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we did this on the prediction where we're waiting for the cliche of Omos comes in, starts throwing people around, and then the next big guy comes in, which was Braun. We got Ricochet, so we had that Braun Ricochet. Number 29, which was, I guess, the final surprise. I guess you could say the three surprises, in quotes, in this one was Booker, Edge, and Logan Paul. But I think Edge wasn't a surprise to anyone.
We all knew it would come.
We all knew. Logan Paul was like he might be in the Rumble, but it wasn't like oh my God, what if? Look, you know what I mean?
Well, now we know why he was in the Rumble. So
yeah, Ricochet and Logan Paul had the were outside the ring, did a big springboard crossbody into each other, which sounded like a car wreck. And then number 30,
they're already dead.
yeah, and number 30, adrenaline in our soul, something. Cody Rhodes came in. From there, it was your typical kind of rumble, with people going out. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus were eventually eliminated by...
Was it Braun, wasn't it? Was it Braun?
No, it was Drew and Gunter, technically, because Drew was trying to save Sheamus, and then Gunter came over and dumped them both out. Our final 4 was Cody, Gunter, Seth, and Logan. After the big body car crash with Ricochet, Logan rolled out the ring and was chilling out there for a bit. Seth and Cody start going at it, which obviously nice little throwback. A couple of pedigrees to each other.
Yeah, I heard that little "how's your chest" comment. That was
how's your pec? Yeah, how's your pec feel? Yeah, a couple of pedigrees to each other, and then as Seth goes for another pedigree, Logan comes back in the ring and throws Seth Rollins out. So I think there's a good chance we're getting Seth Logan at Mania. I'm sure I'll be entertaining as hell, so I'm not going to complain. Yeah. We then had Cody and Logan going at it, but Cody managed to hit a crossroads and then threw Logan out. And then we had Gunter and Cody in
what felt like an eternity.
It felt like they were having a match at the end of the Rumble. You don't really see much of these anymore. There was very little of trying to eliminate each other.
It was,
and I liked it.
Blow after blow. Yeah,
it was very good. To be honest, for quite a few seconds, not for quite a few seconds, but for quite a good chunk of that thing, it looked like Gunter might actually be the guy.
Yeah,
we all knew Cody was going to win. But while watching it, they made you think it could actually be Gunter here.
And we were like,
I wouldn't have been sad if it was Gunter.
No, we were both watching it and we were both sat back, and then all of a sudden we were up. We were just so back and forth, just so entertained by it.
It was very cool. But Cody does eventually win. Nice little moment as he's taking in the win before he's even got on the turnbuckle. He's just taking a moment. He looks up and says, "I did it, Dad."
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
You can tell he's got his own little WWE avenge my old run Stardust gimmick that he's got going on of I'll prove I am the top guy, and I'm here for it. Match number 2, Bray Wyatt defeated LA Knight by pinfall in the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Here's where they had us. We're not Yanks, okay? So we don't get all this shit. But they never specified this from what I've seen, okay? But Mountain Dew Pitch Black is the name of the drink.
Yeah.
It was still technically meant to be a pitch black match. I'm assuming wordplay, but what it was like a night out with flares.
A night out at Naomi's, yeah.
Yeah, everything was very neon. The ropes were neon. LA Knight looked like he just got his trunks fresh from the reactor of Chernobyl because of how the light reacted with them. Bray Wyatt, cool looking UV paint on his face. Obviously, he's adapting his character. Nothing wrong with that. Let Bray do his thing. 5-minute 5 match. LA Knight managed to avoid getting thrown through the announce table by falling backwards. And then LA Knight did a nice little running crossbody type thing to, more like a diving elbow to go through the announce table. But all it took was one Sister Abigail when they were back in the match. Bray Wyatt then went to the corner after winning and put on a mask, which in the What Just Happened video, I described it as the shape of the mask was like, when Kane returned with his mask, like it had... It showed his mouth and around the mouth. It wasn't like a full mask like Fiend. Had the lines on it. It looked cool. Wasn't too demonic or anything that looked ridiculous. And then he started chasing LA Knight around. Anytime he got close to LA Knight hit him in the head with a kendo stick covered in neon lights, which just seemed to bend over Bray's head until they went through a little bit of the crowd and got to a stage. To which LA Knight climbed the stage, went to hit Bray again with the kendo stick and got hit with the mandible claw. As that is happening, you see Uncle Howdy very teeteringly, and he clearly very concerned about how high up he was. Because anytime he went to look down, he sort of did a little shake like, oh, shit. To which Uncle Howdy turned and did a coffin drop through the stage, through LA Knight. LA Knight rolled into the hole, so clearly Uncle Howdy didn't connect. But We love the immersion. Flames blow up. Oh my God, he's already dead. Kind of moment as Bray Wyatt is stood there. The camera then pans upwards, and you see
the 6. Yeah.
Well, 4. You see Huskus the pig, Mercy the buzzard, the witch. I can't remember the name, and the rabbit.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a mind blank.
I can't remember the name.
So clearly, it's a nice little tease for what we're going to get. Spooky business, which we knew it was going to be, but it was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. So, what were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, like you, I was hesitant and I was losing interest come Rumble, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was short-lived. I thought it might have gone a little bit longer, but then obviously pinfall happened. It did that little bit of an extensive thing. Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't being rude. I just realized.
No, sorry, I noticed you.
I couldn't hear the dog, so I was like,
yeah,
very cautiously looking like, crap, what's it doing? And it's asleep under the chair.
Oh, that's at least he's finally settled.
Yeah, it's under the chair.
Yeah, no, it was all right. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I was entertained. So.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, it was very good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. Thankfully, it wasn't literally just an all blacked out match, which sounds ridiculous, but you can never really rule that out.
The blind Vin Diesel didn't appear. So.
Yeah, there was no Riddick interference.
Yeah.
Following that, we got Bianca Belair defeating Alexa Bliss. 7 minutes 35. This lasted. In those 7 minutes, it was fine. Yeah. They can both go in the ring. It was entertaining.
Definitely weakest match at night, wasn't it? But it wasn't weak as in it wasn't in.
I'd say this in the Bray Wyatt match. For the match itself is the same level. It wasn't a bad match. It was very. They could both go in the ring. They both went in the ring. As we said, Bianca Belair. It was hard to. Leading into it, you could see them giving it to Alexa, but also not. And it was, but Bianca clearly isn't going to drop it till WrestleMania. They defeated Alexa. The highlight of this was the spooky video that happened after, which we knew because as soon as Bianca won, she grabbed her title and went out and was celebrating down the ramp rather than celebrating in the ring. Alexa sits up and is sat on the floor. Titantron happens. You've got black and white of a playground, and then Alexa, which was on the what happened video. I described it as like it had the Alexa like smiling at the camera through like the fish islands. Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Showed her bleeding at Mania.
Yeah. And then Uncle Howdy saying some stuff. So building up to her joining Wyatt, fine, not a problem with it. I was happy there wasn't spooky bollocks in the match. They waited till after for the spooky bollocks, and it was just a video. So it wasn't because having these back to back, it wasn't too much spookiness, and the way they did it was good. We then got the 30-woman Royal Rumble match. Entrant number 1, still selling the spear from Rhea Ripley, from Beth Phoenix, is Rhea Ripley, and then her former tag partner comes out at number 2. Number 3 was Dana Brooke. Number 4 was Emma. We then got Shayna Baszler, and number 6, Shayna Baszler number 5. Number 6 was Bayley, and then we got B-Fab.
Fucking hell!
Yeah, 36 seconds.
Nothing fab about that.
Number 8, we got the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez, who came in, lasted 4 minutes and 34 seconds, which surprised me. I thought
she did all right for what she was in.
But she was very good. We then got Dakota Kai, who came in to help Bayley, obviously. And then number 10 was Io Sky. So all of Damage Control were in it together. And for a good chunk of the match, they worked together. Natalya returned at number 11. The Pint-Sized Pixie, Candice LeRae, returned at number 12. NXT's Zoe Stark came in at 13, lasted 26 minutes and 34 seconds, and was great. So I look forward to seeing her when she comes up. Xia Li came number 14. Becky Lynch at 15. Tegan Nox at 16. 17 was Asuka, who had a new entrance mask. Wasn't just the Japanese painted one. It was like I can't remember what the Oni, the white Oni mask. And then when she peeled it off, she revealed, but she was also wearing new attire. It wasn't the normal like mental suspenders wrapped everywhere. But took off and revealed a Kana character face paint, which, as I said to you, if they go all out with this Kana character, she can destroy the entire roster, and we'll get like NXT's undefeated Asuka, but on steroids, and I can't wait. I hope they do it. Number 18. I'm going to count it as a return. Doudrop is dead, and Piper Niven is back. Piper Niven returned. Quite a pop when Piper Niven came up on the Tron.
Yeah.
I will say, Piper Niven's big return to being Piper Niven is going to be overshadowed by the 3 commentators just doing Doudrop puns.
I defo do. What
Yeah.
drop? I do drop.
Did you know that Do had dropped the name? I do. Oh, we forgot to say at the very start of the match, we got a return to the commentary table for the special occasion of our favourite, Pat McAfee.
Oh, it was so good to have him there.
It
Wasn't
was
Yeah.
great to have him there.
He made it so much better.
After Piper Niven, we got Tamina. Who cares? Then we got the return of Chelsea Green, who lasted 5 seconds.
But at least he's proud of her.
But my God, it's great. But I will say, from what I've seen, WWE have put out a lot of, like people who have, after they've been eliminated, getting interviewed backstage. It looks like they're giving Chelsea like a Karen character. So when things aren't going her way, Strops runs to management, things like that.
It's basically like a real life Eva Marie then.
I can see that. 21, Zelina Vega rocking the, is it Junie character from Street Fighter 6? Obviously, she does a lot of cosplay for her gear and stuff. Raquel Rodriguez came in at 22. I will say this, 22, Raquel Rodriguez, she enters at 22 and lasts for 20 minutes. Shows like they gave these rumbles real time.
Yeah.
Gunter is now the longest.
Yeah,
He spent the longest time in a traditional Royal Rumble match. Obviously, there's the greatest Royal Rumble that Daniel Bryan lasted because it was 50 man or something. But yeah, we then got Mia Yim Mishin in at number 23. She did well. We got Lacey Evans at 24.
Oh, very nice.
Then we got Michelle McCool at 25, who'd been shown in the crowd earlier, to which we were like, oh, okay, so she won't be in it. They're just like, oh, look, take her as missus. Michelle McCool, former champion in attendance, because obviously they're in there. That's where they live. So it's like, oh, look who's come to the show. But no, Michelle McCool's music hit, and I thought, why would you show that? Like, they're just attendant and then have her come down the ramp. She didn't come down the ramp. She hopped the barricade. She was wearing Uggs, like a sports bra, sports top thing. And as soon as she hopped it, I was like, oh, okay, so you've not completely made it seem like he wasn't expecting it, because she's wearing like jogging bottoms that have diamond embezzled versions of the cross that she used to wear on her gear. I'm like, I really don't think you wear your own cross on your clothes through day-to-day life. Like, you don't see Undertaker walking around with the hat and just... But it was cool. Indy Hartwell at 26 from NXT. We got Sonya Deville at 27, Shotzi 28, Nikki Cross 29, number 30. They fucked up massively, not just by bringing her back, but they had the music and the Titantron came on for number 30 before the countdown did, and it was
you're fired.
She's not like most girls. She only injures her opponents. It's Nia Jax. I don't think this is a one-time thing, because she just kept shouting, "I'm back, bitch," and I feel like you wouldn't shout that for a 1 minute 57 random appearance. But she got eliminated by everybody, so we can't complain. Like I say, she didn't come in, clean house, and do all that jazz. She didn't even eliminate anyone, to be honest. So fair enough, whatever. If she's back, like I say, I hope she spent the time away training. Because she, the thing is, it sounds mean, but she picked up a name for injuring people for a reason. Do you know what I mean? She didn't just do it to one person and then
she can't execute moves and shit.
That's what I mean. So if she spent it, like I said to you when we were watching it, look at Mandy Rose. When she first joined, she couldn't do a damn thing. By the end of it,
she was champion for.
She was champion. Yeah. Everyone's behind her. She could go in the ring if she's put the time in. Same with Eva Marie. I was open to when Eva Marie returned. I was like, okay, cool. She's been gone a while. Hopefully, she's been training nonstop, and she's gotten to where she's, we can at least watch it and go.
She's been training with Brian Kendrick though, so like it's not like she'd not been trained, but she's still.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So hopefully, it's that's a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Nia has returned to be in the Bloodline. More on that shortly. But we had a good cluster of people in the ring at the end. Was Asuka, Lacey Evans, Liv Morgan, Mia Yim, Michelle McCool, Nikki Cross, Piper Niven, Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, Shotzi, and Sonya Deville. That's a good chunk of people
Yeah.
at the end of the Rumble when there's no more entrants. A few eliminations here and there. Got down to the final 4, which was Asuka, Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross, Rhea Ripley. Asuka and Nikki had both gone over the rope and were sort of fighting on the outside when Liv Morgan just came out of nowhere and wiped out Nikki, leaving the final 3 of Asuka, Rhea, and Liv. Again, a bit further on, they went some back and forth. All 3 are over the rope. You have Liv on one side near a turnbuckle, Rhea in the middle, Asuka at the other side. Asuka and Rhea are going at it. Asuka goes for the pin. Rhea just drops, blinds Liv. But then Rhea does this between the bottom and the middle row. It's almost like a 619 leg takeout on it on Asuka. And that's how she eliminates it. So she just kind of goes, and Asuka's on the floor, and then Asuka's just stood there laughing, like, I'm gone.
I'm gonna turn fucking crazy
now. And then we had Asuka and Liv doing a little back forward. Liv did I think it was like a drop kick or something, and the way Rhea dropped looked like Rhea was gonna. It looked like she was going, because it wasn't a case of like she jumped off. She got kicked and her legs just slipped off the apron, and then she grabbed on. But for a minute, it genuinely looked like Liv was just kicking her off, and that was it. But she turned and retained her balance, got back up, threw Liv off with her legs, and Rhea Ripley's going to hustle. Looking forward to finding out who she's announced yet. I haven't watched Raw yet. It's currently. I don't want to know if it's happened.
No, because it's tonight, isn't it? But I'm hoping she's going to go for Bianca, because she's already fought Charlotte twice at Mania, hasn't she?
Once at Mania 2020, but she could go for Charlotte to redeem the loss. But I also
she's fought twice, but yeah,
redeem the loss. But also they're on Raw, so would she go for a SmackDown one? Unless they're gonna, unless I don't know. Do you know what? I'd love to see it if the night after Mania, the week after Mania, Raw and SmackDown, every year we have a draft.
Yeah,
mix it up, because you already get the surprise returns throughout the night. So on Raw, you can have, who's in the hat, and then surprise returns come in. And if they've returned in storyline, haven't signed to a brand, you can have on SmackDown, Raw and SmackDown's GMs trying to persuade these, whoever these returns or call ups or whatever the case is, do it that way. But no, I'm happy with Rhea winning. We both predicted it.
Yeah.
I think personally, Triple H has to hold back on the NXT think people in the Rumble, because he needs to remember, 1, NXT isn't as big as it used to be, and 2, a lot of people who watch Rumbles and Manias are casuals. They want to know who these people are. Always have a couple of NXT and get them introduced, especially if you have plans to bring them up. But I think in each Rumble we had Booker T, who was a big surprise, and then Michelle McCool, who was an ish surprise.
I was very surprised Bron Breakker went in the.
So was I.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Danny are going to take a quick break here ourselves, and then we will be here to talk, because we need a whole new section to talk about the main event. Main event time: Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. In the main event, Roman's defended the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Kevin Owens. After the two executed their respective moves and finishes, Owens slipped on a moonsault attempt, but landed on Reigns. He then rolled Roman over and hit just a jumping senton to go for the pin for a little recovery. It looked like a rough landing for both men.
Yeah. Very.
Yeah.
Thinking like now, it's just.
Yeah. But I mean, they're both professional enough to just sort of roll with it, not try it straight away again and just do something else.
Oh, yeah. Shit's going to happen no matter what.
Exactly.
It's live, for fuck's sake.
Owens attempted another moonsault from, I think it was just the second rope or the top rope, one of them, but Reigns avoided it and performed a spear on Owens for a navel. As Reigns performed another spear, Owens interrupted him with a knee to the face and sent Reigns into the referee, knocking him down. Owens performed a pop-up powerbomb on Reigns, but no referee was there to make the count. I believe me and you counted to 6.
Yeah.
Reigns then performed a low blow on Owens, who recovered and performed a stunner on Reigns. Oh, but between this, sorry. He did the low blow on Owens, and through the match, Sami Zayn he just wants the match to end, you can tell.
Yeah, you could tell something's coming, couldn't you?
Well, no, I don't think coming. It was just a fact of Sami
No, but
Zayn.
there's hesitation in his eyes, isn't there? There's like
He's just sort of every time there's a near fall, no matter who it's on, it looks like he just wants the match done.
yeah.
While the rest down, Roman hits the low blow. He then screams at Sami, "Get me a chair." To which Sami said, I haven't done anything because you asked me not to," which he did say. He said he just wanted him there in his corner. He said, "Well, I'm telling you now, get me the chair." So Sami went looking for a chair, couldn't find one, got one under the ring, and then hesitated to give it to Roman. He then gave it to Roman, but because of the hesitation, Roman turned around and got hit with a stunner for a very near fall. Then Owens went for another pop-up powerbomb, but Reigns intercepted with a Superman punch and a second spear for another near fall. Owens got distracted by Sami at ringside, so Owens kept rolling out of the ring. Reigns speared him through the barricade. Owens then made it to the other side of the ring, where Reigns slammed Owens' head against the steel steps multiple times. And when I say that, I don't just mean he threw him into the side. He was actually the actual stairs themselves that you walk up at. Owens didn't put his hand on the back of his head while it happened. It was just Reigns grabbed him by the front, like the top of his head, and just slammed him twice into the actual steps themselves. It was really uncomfortable to see. Think about it now makes me feel a bit sick.
It's kind of like that time we went to see that Blackheart stuff, and that the women were fighting, and there was no there was no comfort around it. They were just banging, just
fucking murdering each other.
Yeah, it was.
Roman threw Owens back into the ring. Owens stood up and could barely move, but the one thing he wanted to muster was one just big ass bitch slap to Reigns' face. Who responded with a third spear on Owens to retain the title. After the match, the Bloodline delivered a beatdown to Owens, with the Usos taking it in turns, dropping punches, then super kicks, the 1D. Solo Sikoa was doing damage too. Owens was then handcuffed to the ropes, which was worrying because when Roman said to Paul Heyman, "Get me some handcuffs," he pulled two pairs of handcuffs out of his pockets and goes, "When my tribal chief asks for handcuffs, I always have handcuffs." So I don't know how many times Roman has asked for them and what the context was, but we don't judge. We'll let the Island of Relevancy do their thing.
Yeah. They've got their own laws on their own island.
Yeah, exactly. Owens was handcuffed to the ropes, and Reigns. Before I'm jumping ahead, he took about 25 super kicks from the Usos.
From the Uso twins,
just not stuff. Reigns was going to hit him over the head with the chair. Sami Zayn stood in between them. You could see how pissed off Reigns was. But then he said he'd had enough. Kevin Owens has had enough. You don't need to do this. Look at him. It's done. You don't need to do this. To which Roman said, "I don't need to. You're right. I don't need to do this. You do."
Yeah.
And passed Sami the chair. Sami looked at the chair, looked at Kevin and said, "I can't do it. No. To which Roman Reigns then starts saying, "When you're one of us, when you're with our family, you won this ring. If you weren't with this family, you'd still be doing jackass shit." Sami Zayn still very much not wanting to. Roman starts pushing the face of Sami, basically saying,
"Making a snap."
Basically saying, "What the hell are you doing? Who's been your family? Who's been around?" To which Sami goes, "You're right. Roman walks to the side. Kevin Owens gets the chair. Bang to the back of Roman Reigns, which Roman Reigns sold it like he just got shot. He sold it the exact same way sold that chair shot when Seth hit him.
Yeah. And that fucking pop.
Yeah, the pop was huge. I'm sorry. No matter what their plans were for Sami and the Bloodline, whether they were going to do Sami and Kevin versus the Usos at Mania, that pop and that pop alone needs to cement Sami versus Roman
at one of the nights. Yeah,
at one of the nights. It has to be done. I think it would be perfect. But yeah,
well, that's it. You could have night one with tag team. You could have night two with title, couldn't you?
I wouldn't do that personally, but that's a discussion for another time. As he hit Roman, he turns to Jay, drops the chair and says, "I'm sorry, man." And Jay is he's angry, he's upset. "What are you doing, man?" And then Jimmy just kicks the fucking head off Sami. Jimmy then proceeds to beat down Sami with Solo, Roman standing over them. And then they all notice Jay is just stood in the corner, angry, annoyed. Jimmy shouting, "What are you doing? Look what he's done to our family." Roman saying, "What are you doing? Come on." Jay looks at Roman, looks at Sami, shakes his head, and walks out. He just walks out of the arena, disobeying Roman. Which, to be fair, in story, it's taken a long time for Jay to accept Sami.
Yeah. Oh, they just started.
Jay then accepted him and then took the bullet for Sami at the tribal court.
Yeah.
And then this happens. We then get Roman just beating down Sami with a chair. Sami removed from the bloodline. Obviously, they took off his Amiri Uso t-shirt. And then Roman Reigns, the Usos, well, not Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman all headed up the entranceway, turning back to give one last look at Sami. There's also, I saw footage after Rumble went off air. They uncuffed Kevin Owens, who flops to the floor, obviously, like to the mat, not outside. And then while there's medics at Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens just crawls to him and then just drops. So I think we're going to see Sami and Kevin. We're going to see them versus the Usos in some form. I don't want them to be for a title, but that's just me. That's just because I want Sami versus Roman. If we're not going to get Sami versus Roman, despite like the pop and everything, then fine. Give us Kevin and Sami versus the Usos. Let Sami and Kevin, who've been friends literally their whole lives, let them have that moment together at Mania. Worst case scenario, it's not that bad of a worst case scenario, but obviously I'd just rather have other things happen. Match wise, very good. It was always going to be very good between Roman and Kevin, wasn't it? Let's be honest. It's not like they've run the risk of a bad match.
No, they've proper made up for last year. That's for sure, without a doubt.
I feel like there's not like this Rumble didn't have to be this good for it to make up for the last year's Rumble.
No, but do you know what I mean? No, but
they went all out.
You feeling, you know what I mean? How it left you feeling last year compared to it's Triple H's first Rumble, but do you know what I mean? We knew it was going to be great, but they definitely more than made up for it.
And it was great. It was outstanding.
I'm fucking gutted the Bloodline's coming to an end because I've absolutely loved it. So
I mean, the Bloodline's only going to come to an end with Sami. They're gonna have a few weeks where Jay's probably gonna be AWOL or whatever.
Yeah. The cracks are gonna start to form though, aren't they?
Yes and no. Like the thing is, say they go all out, right? With what I would personally want them to do at Mania, and you have Sami defeat Roman for one of the belts, right?
WWE more than likely, yeah.
No, it'll be Universal. I think Cody's gonna go WWE. Why would he go Universal? His whole thing is he wants to win the belt his dad never did, which would be the WWE.
Fair play.
So have Sami take the belt of Mania. You can have Roman disappear. Roman is already part-time, right?
Yeah.
You can have Roman go away for a bit and then come back and do whatever he's going to do, right?
Yeah.
The Bloodline doesn't have to disappear because Roman's gone. Like, they're not going to split Roman and the Usos. The Usos are going to always be around. Solo's always going to be around. It's just Roman who's going to be hit and miss.
Yeah.
So the Bloodline isn't going to break up because they're not going to break up the Usos.
It's just not going to be the force it once was.
Yeah.
So
for a while. At some point, it probably will. I mean, don't get me wrong. The next time Roman holds a belt, he's not going to have this level of a reign. Let's be real.
No.
But, you know, everything has to come to an end. And especially something like this. Roman's already, what was it, near 900 days or something?
Yeah.
Some are mental. 500 days, 600 days, some are insane. It all has to come to an end eventually. And the way, I mean, just look how Twitter reacted. No one has been invested in a wrestling story in a
He's
long
currently
time
at
like this.
883 days he's currently at.
That is mental.
I know.
800 and what, sorry?
83.
And there's about 60 something days till
Maybe.
Mania, so it's going to be over a 900-day reign.
Yeah, he's gonna hit 1,000, isn't he? I think.
Nah.
Do you not think? No, fair enough.
If he the only way he'll hit 1,000 is if Cody takes the WWE off him at Mania, and whoever goes for the Universal loses, and he holds it for a few more months.
Right.
If he was it SummerSlam, he won it back.
SummerSlam or Payback or something, wasn't it?
Nah, it would have been Payback or it would be sure pay-per-view. Because did he beat? Who did he beat? He popped out. He didn't come out, did he, for the whole match of Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman?
And he pinned him at the end.
He came out, yeah, and then so he held it August 30th, and he's held the Universal for 882 days. So the way they can do it would be, if they want him to get 1,000 days, have it be he loses the WWE to Cody, retains the Universal because they'll have to separate them. Retain the Universal against whoever, and then whoever takes the Universal off Roman takes it off him at SummerSlam. And he'll be well over 1,000. That would be the only way to do it. It's already, it doesn't have to hit 1,000, because 1,000 is just a round number. In time wise, it's not that. It's not that stand out. Like, if they manage to have SummerSlam take place August 30th this year, that would be his 1,000th day as champion, and that would be a great day for him to lose it. Whereas 1,000-day reign just looks good at 4 numbers.
Fucking crazy, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, that just looks good 4 numbers. So, I mean, whatever they're going to do, they're going to do it. It's going to be enjoyable regardless. But I'm very interested to see the Sami Zayn thing. I think we're going to get the Bloodline coming out tonight and addressing the situation. I don't think we're going to see Sami Zayn for a while.
I think Roman, looking at this, I think Roman won it at SummerSlam because it says August 30th, 2020. That's usually SummerSlam era, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said, yeah. He won it at SummerSlam, so it would make more sense.
I thought it was earlier in the year he won it.
No,
just after Mania sort of thing.
No. I think we're probably going to get the Bloodline tonight on Raw. I don't think we'll get Sami. I don't think we'll get Kevin Owens. I think we'll get Kevin Owens before Sami. And I think it'll be a case of Kevin Owens returns, bitches about Roman, calls them pussies, but in WWE language. The Bloodline will come out. The Bloodline will come out, they'll batter him, and then we'll get... I want him to come back. Short hair Sami.
Scar Sami, yeah.
Yeah, like short beard Sami comes out, that music hits, chair in hand, runs there and just beats the fuck out of all the Bloodline. Him and Kevin Owens are standing tall, the Bloodline are on the outside. And then they could go whatever direction. As long as it ends in a Sami Zayn WrestleMania moment, I can accept it, okay? It doesn't, I would love it for him to beat Roman for the Universal title. It would be, dream situation. However, as I say, if it is him and Kevin winning the tag titles, so be it. And hopefully by then, you could even have it where, because now they're defending the tag titles on both shows, like the Raw and SmackDown tag titles that get defended individually.
Yeah.
You can have them just start winning more. They keep retaining for both of them. And then at, say, like a Chamber, you can have the Usos defending against Legado, say.
Legado Imperium, doing like they did in
whoever. Literally whoever. Literally, yeah. Not even in the Chamber.
Not fair enough.
Just in a match, just a SmackDown tag title match. I don't care who it is. Braun Strowman and fucking Ricochet. I don't care. I don't care who that is. But you can have Kevin and Sami be the reason that Usos lose.
Yeah.
That
Come
way,
on,
those titles are taken away from the Usos. The
come on,
SmackDown
low
tag
blow
titles.
him or something. Yeah.
Yeah, the SmackDown tag titles take away. And then you've got that build for Sammy and Kevin to go for the Raw tag team titles against the Usos at Mania. But those tag titles are separated.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, as soon as the bloodline ends in what we see it now,
Yeah. Everything splits.
everything's going to split. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to go back to, Raw has
Individuals.
WWE, SmackDown's got Universal and all that jazz. Oh, I'd love it if Triple H just went Universal. Nah, mate, big gold will heavyweight. Suck your mum.
Bring back the Winged Eagle.
I think Cody will. I think Cody will bring back the Winged Eagle.
White Intercontinental. Bring that back.
Nah, I want just the old school Intercontinental, but with the black strap, honky tonk style.
Yeah, well, even so, anything's better than.
Bring back honky tonk to win the Intercontinental title. What would you? I mean, the match itself was insane, purely because I can't get the steel step image out of my head. It makes me feel gross. But when Sammy hit Roman with that chair, what were your initial thoughts and feelings?
I just out loud went, "Fuck," didn't I? So
You did.
it was just a state of shock. I knew it was coming, but I didn't think it would come in this early. I thought it might come at
Oh, we all knew it was gonna.
you know what I mean,
yeah.
Chamber or maybe a pay-per-view before Mania or something. It was going to build up from there.
This
But
is
yeah,
why I think they're gonna have to have.
there must be no pay-per-view again before Mania after Chamber this year, like last year.
Probably not, but I think they'll have to have it where it's a case of Sammy is same with Kevin, but as I say, for not as long, where they're both away for a while because they've been beaten down so badly. And then also you could have it where Sammy then needs to take some time, for himself because of how nuts everything was. And then when he returns, he can save Kevin Owens with it, and then you've got them standing together. I'm loading up our predictions now. I don't need to because I already know I lost, but
I think we drew. I think we draw.
I don't think we did. Because the thing is, you went for the obvious answers, which I did too for a lot of them. But my big problem was I went for my heart, didn't I? For the Rumble, where we both had the same heart answer and head answer for the men's Rumble. But we had to differ because otherwise, what's the point of our predictions if all our predictions are the same?
True.
Not like it matters, to be honest, is it? Let's be real.
Well, no, but
Yes, I'm just marking them now, so I know. I'm not
So it's
giving.
like
I will
2-1
say.
or something.
I will say I'm not giving you the Beth Phoenix point.
Fair
She
enough.
wasn't in the match.
Fair enough.
I think we only differed. Take surprise entrance out of it, but actual
Cody.
results. I think we only differed on two.
On Cody, I think was the main one, wasn't it?
Cody and yeah. All right, so
Point for Cody, point for Edge. I think that'll all get, won't it?
you got point for Cody,
Yeah.
point for Rhea,
Ah, fair enough. Yeah.
point for Roman, point for Bray, and a point for Bianca. You had a clean sweep on the actual matches.
I think Edge was one of my returns, wasn't he?
And you got one surprise point in Edge.
Yeah.
So you got 6 points. And I got... The sunlight is blinding my screen.
Well, I think you backed Bianca, didn't you? And you backed Rhea. So there's
I got
2 points.
no points for the men's Royal Rumble because I went with Sammy. I got 1 for Rhea, 1 for Roman, none for Bray Wyatt, LA Knight, because I said LA Knight. I thought there was going to be some Uncle Howdy shit, which there was, but I thought it was going to go against Bray. Because now Bray, that happening, I don't see a Bray Uncle Howdy at Mania if they're going to work together like that. And I got a point for Bianca. So I got 3 points from the main show, and then I got 1 point for Chelsea Green. Unfortunately, there was no Ric Flair or Mr. Kennedy, which I would have given myself 27 points.
Oh, no, Honky Tonk Man, which was a shame.
Yeah, very much. 1, 2, 3. So I got 4. So Danny, you are currently our prediction champion.
Cool.
Because the thing is, by next Rumble, we can see who won the most predictions through the year.
Yeah.
So it's currently 1-0 to you in the predictions. How would you rate the Royal Rumble pay-per-view out of 10?
9.5.
9.5?
Yeah.
What would have got it a 10? Or do you think nothing could be a 10?
I don't think you can give a 10 to something, can you? Like, there's always going to be something.
Yeah, I get you.
To bring it down that little bit. Do you know what I mean?
I get you. I think I'd probably 9.5 as well.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. What I'll do actually while we're here is I'll also write in this same file every pay-per-view we do. I will make a note of the rankings. Royal Rumble 2023. 9.5 average because we both said it. You know, that makes the rest of the pay-per-views have to do a lot to live up to that.
Thing is, though, now that he is in charge, we know that they'll probably live up.
I'm excited for Mania. I'm excited for Chamber.
Yeah.
The only thing I want is I want any time the elimination anytime the Elimination Chamber in the calendar year is between Rumble and Mania, I never want to see the world champion defending it because it's going to be going to be very, very rare that the champion loses, right?
Yeah.
I would rather see the Intercontinental, the United States, or Intercontinental and a tag or a women's in there.
They need to have more than one chamber match, don't they? That's the main thing.
I would say they should have 3.
One at women's titles, one at men's titles, and a tag title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you don't have to have any other titles defended, but say it's a 4 to 6, 7 night show, like match show. 3 of them are chambers. You can have one be the world title, but you also don't have to, with it being Roman. So that means you've got the gap for any storyline matches that are happening.
Put in contenders matches in and stuff.
Yeah, but then you've got to have the gap for the storyline matches. Otherwise, you know. But then they've got that gap. But that's how I do it. It was awesome to do it. We're very lucky that we started this channel and this project, and this is our very first topic because we've not done it and then been left.
We
dry.
We tried to do something and it's just been
but you got to think like in the past we've been with places and like we'd be like, oh, you know, we've got back into wrestling properly. We're watching it as much as we can. Let's do it, and then you get like the Hell in a Cell with Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins, which just makes you feel deflated, and you're like, we've got to talk about this and all that.
Sasha and Bailey one,
yeah. So it's, you know, at least there's but the Sasha and Bailey Hell in a Cell was good.
Yeah, that was a good fight, but everything else about it was really shite.
I'm with you. Yeah. So we've been lucky. We've started this project, and our first topic has been fucking amazing. Amazing pay-per-view. We won't have another podcast until next Monday because what we're going to do is we're going to record on a Monday and we'll be talking about the previous week's shows, but I don't see the point in us recording tonight and talking about Raw and SmackDown.
Unless something extremely amazing happens.
Well, no, what I mean is, you know, there's no point in us recording and talking about Raw and SmackDown from last week when we've just had the Rumble, which is like the full stop for that week.
No.
So we might as well just wait until next week, and then that's when we can talk about this week's Raw and SmackDown. At some point, if we have other topics to do that aren't related to, you know, like timeline of things, like we talk about favorite this or top this or what this could be, you know, all those situations, we can drop each other a message and figure out our schedules. But until then, it's been very fun. Thank you for joining me, Danny. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for watching and or listening, however you're doing it, and comment, like, subscribe on YouTube, or just follow us on Spotify if that's a thing. I don't know how Spotify works when you upload podcasts. I just press a button.
Let us know who we're backing in the Rumble as well. We want to see all the different answers.
And now that we know it probably won't be The Rock, if Sami does not challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal title, who would you want to see challenge Roman on night 2?
Swoggle.
Son of a bitch, I'm in. Thank
Son
you,
of
everybody.
money.
We get Swoggle-mania and then we sit back and we make the fucking money.
Swogglemania.
Look, this has been the Mouthpiece Mania. Thanks for watching.